Sure. I'm the COO of a prediction market platform called Gnosis. Basically what we do is we provide the back end for other companies to actually build decentralized blockchain prediction markets and incorporate into their apps, or do this as a freestanding app. So basically we're a platform. So at the moment we're mostly working with other blockchain companies because they understand the technological limitations well. And there are certain things that at the moment we simply can't do on-chain that you would be able to do off-chain without a problem. So the people who have a large amount of understanding for this and a large amount of patience with us and the technology are currently other blockchain companies. So those are the people we are currently working with actively. In the pipe, we are talking to many other companies who are not traditional blockchain companies at all. This could be interesting for any kind of company. So basically, what a prediction market does is it looks at future events and the possible outcomes that those events have, and then it makes those individual outcomes tradable. So, for instance, to give an example, so you have a shipping company, like as in freight cargo ships. If you want to come up with routes for your cargo ships to go around the world, you actually have to take many things into consideration. So, for instance, the Northeast Passage, north of Russia, is a shipping route that is typically not open because it's iced over. So in warm years, you can actually navigate it with a regular cargo ship. And this is a cool thing because if you want to go from Europe to Asia, it saves you going through the Suez Canal and around India. So this is actually, it saves you around a third of the route. So having knowledge about whether this shipping route is going to be open is a huge asset. And traditionally, you would have had to ask an expert. So an expert would have incorporated all their knowledge into some sort of memorandum and given it to you, and you would have had to pay for this memorandum. So basically, what you can now do on this new technology is you can have a decentralized prediction market. So you basically you make a statement such as the Northeast Passage is going to be open for at least 30 days this summer. Then you make this tradable, and people who actually know, they actually have an incentive to partake in this market, because if they can move the anticipated outcome, so the probable outcome, in the right direction, they on average will make money. So they are economically incentivized to share the knowledge that they have that you otherwise would have never gotten on your prediction market. So people like fishers in northern Russia, meteorologists, people operating weather stations in northern Russia, the Russian military, Arctic scientists, other shippers who've actually gone, who've actually passed that route in the past couple of days, and who know this was still open, but it was about to ice over. So those are the people who are incentivized to now share their knowledge with the world. There are many possible applications for this kind of technology. So basically, what we have decided to do is to provide the back end. So on our platform, it's very easy to actually to make these prediction markets, and they are actually operating on the blockchain without you actually having to know how it works. So we're not quite there yet, but the aim is to make it as easy as setting up a Facebook page. So you just click what theme you want and what the questions are and the possible answers, and where the smart contract is to look up the answer. And that's it. And then you can fund the market. And that's the funding of the market is basically a way of making the market liquid. And a way of incentivizing people to share their knowledge with you. So if you, in a traditional sense, would have paid an expert for their expert opinion, here you can get the wisdom of the crowds, but only the best of it, because everyone has skin in the game. So it's not like a poll. It's not like asking people who don't know. Only people who actually think that they can make money by partaking in this market will actually partake. And this way you get extremely reliable forecasts. I'm a physicist by training. I did a PhD in Berlin, and then I was in basic research for a couple of years. So I worked at Columbia in New York, and then at Stanford, and I actually held a guest professorship here in Hamburg before I left academia to move into the blockchain space full time. And it's really nice to be back here in Hamburg. So basically, we are a lobby group in the best sense. So basically, we represent all German or most German blockchain startups, because blockchain startups, as diverse as they may be, depending on what exactly they're building, they all face a lot of the same challenges, and a larger part of that being unclear regulation and legislation. And we're pushing for clear regulation for blockchain startups, and we see ourselves as mostly an educational organ. So basically we have a political board with the leading German digital politicians from each party. And we just explain them what blockchain is and what the possibilities and chances are, but also what the dangers are. I know the organizers, and I was a speaker at their last conference, and the way they bring blockchain to a crowd that isn't necessarily from blockchain background. The way they do this is wonderful. It's important to give people a good sense of what people in the space are actually like, and what they're working on, and what they're thinking, and what's moving them in a way.